It was high, just looking me over like I was just a piece of meat. Like, I was not a human being. I didn't have a brain. I didn't have a personality. I was just simply there for his pleasure. And it left me feeling very gross, very dirty, like, this is not what I signed up for. Then on finals night, he came backstage and he came back directly into the hair and makeup room where we're all in our, Miss USA robes. So you don't have anything on under these robes. And so he comes in like he owns the place.
Now, you know that there are people out there right now saying, that's the pageant business, right? Like, is that what the women signed up for?
Well, I worked in Trump Tower at a company that actually did business with Trump, and I saw him frequently because I sat right out front behind glass doors, and he used the elevator bank to get to his residence right outside our office. So I would see him almost daily, waiting for his elevator. And on one day, I decided to introduce myself because I did see him regularly. And he shook my hand, and he kind of gave me the normal double cheek kiss. But then he held onto my hand and he kept kissing me. He kept asking me maybe a question, where are you from, and kissing me again.
Where is this? Where's this happening?
It's right outside the elevators, right outside my office.
So he kept kissing you?
Yeah, he went, I don't know how many times back and forth, multiple, and then he kissed me on the lips. And I was shocked, yeah. I mean, devastated. It happened so fast, I guess, and I didn't really, I wish I would have been courageous enough to be like, what's going on, and you need to stop this, but I think ultimately he got on his elevator, and I ran back into the office, and I remember hiding in our boss's office, because no one else was there. It was early in the morning. I wish I had been stronger then. I mean, I feel differently now. I'd like to think things would be a lot different now.
You are a Democrat. You admit to being a Democrat.
Yeah.
I was on the plane, and the stewardess came down the aisle, and she looked at me, and she said, would you like to come up to first class? Yes, I'd be glad to. So up I went, and the gentleman sitting at the window, I sat down, and he introduced himself as Donald Trump. Now, they served a meal. And after the meal was cleared, all of a sudden, he was all over me, kissing and groping and kissing. And believe me, my memory of it was that nothing was said. He didn't say, oh, by the way, or I didn't go eek or help or whatever. It was just this silent groping going on. Then when his hand started going up my skirt, I'm not a small person. I managed to wiggle out and stand up, grabbed my purse, and I went to the back of the airplane. I stayed at the back of the airplane until we landed, and everybody was off because I did not want to take the chance of running into him at all. That was my story. Now, I didn't tell anybody then. I didn't complain to the airlines. I didn't tell my boss. I just thought, oh, that's some creep on the airplane. 3 years later, I moved to New York City. I got a job with the Humane Society of New York. We're going to have a fundraising gala at Saks Fifth Avenue. And Saks Fifth Avenue was going to have all the designers. And I was in charge of handing out the table assignments. And then up to the table comes Donald Trump and his first wife. But he stands there as I'm handing him his table assignment, and he says, I remember you. You were that woman from the airplane. He called me the worst name ever.
Wait a minute, there was a descriptor
Yes.
before a woman?
Yes, yes.
Can you give us a hint?
It's the worst one. It really is. And
you don't want to say it out
No,
loud, but does it begin with a C?
Yes, yes. And the room cleared. I mean, it was like everybody just sort of disappeared into the...
Does it end with T?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure we're all on the same page.
It was shocking. It was like a bucket of cold water being thrown over me. And he took his table assignment and he went on, and I went home. And then in the end of 2015 into 16, when I realized that Trump was actually going to run for president, that he actually was going to do it this time, I started telling everybody my story.
Let me just ask you, are you a Democrat?
Yes, yes.
And was it a matter of trying to stop him from ascending to the presidency?